Hey guys, Hikari here, and today we are finally getting the announcement that One Punch Man Season 3 has been officially announced, and it's going to be changing studios this time around, but it's kind of crazy that 3 years later we are finally getting confirmation of the third season of One Punch Man, and I'm just hoping that with the new season, the studio changing also, that the qualities kind of go up for the season, since no offense to season 2, but I feel like the quality wasn't really on par with what we were getting in the manga. So it's kind of exciting to know that maybe the studio change could be a good refresher for the series and could make things just a little bit better for it going into the third season. But I'm definitely very excited for this new season coming out. Without further ado though, let's get right into the chapter, and it actually starts off with Garou sitting in a room and he's basically going over his unbiased evil plan where he would basically become a monster or a being that would kind of be evil to everybody without discrimination, without anything, just being evil to them, and seeing if humanity is able to kind of throw away every one of their biases and instead try to fight this evil, and they're not going to really have time to be mean to each other. And we see that while he's talking about all of this, he's actually only talking to a policeman, since he was probably caught dining and dashing out of a diner. So we see that that was happening, and it's actually Silverfang Bang that comes over and comes get them out of the situation. Silverfang then tells Garou that they can finally focus on, saying sorry to all of the people that were affected about the incident, and that it's actually been a week since all of that happened. So it's only really been a week, and Garou's finally back to his full form, it seems, and he's going back to like how he was pre-fight with all of the heroes and pre-monstrification. He tells Bang though, don't tell me what to do, that you're not my dad, and Bang starts to talk in his head saying that his parents actually never even showed up to his detention when he was probably in trouble for all of the stuff that he did. So it kind of more so shows that Garou really never had like any parental figures that were able to be in his life and to help him not go down the wrong path. So obviously we see later on in the chapter and more so that Bang is trying to be that figure and that person that can really lead Garou down a better path, and that's very cool of Bang to do that. Bang then tells Garou that all it really takes to be a parent is to have children, but to be a teacher, you really have to lead that student down the right path. And Garou just says, what the heck, like I don't really care about any of that. And Silverfang then starts talking about how it was kind of easy for him to find Garou, since the area that he even found Garou at was a training grounds that he told Garou himself, to train at. And he starts to theorize that maybe Garou purposely went there knowing that he would find him there, since Garou really did want to be found. Garou then starts to kind of lie to himself. Maybe it was partly truthful, maybe it was partly a lie, but then he says that he only really showed back up to Bang to learn how to get his fist back, since he's kind of lost a lot of his power that he got after he started monsterifying in the manga. So he's kind of back to a weaker level than he really was, and I think he's around the same level that he was before the A-class fight that he had, or maybe he's about at that level when he was fighting the A-class hero. So he's definitely going to be significantly weaker right now, since he doesn't have that monstrified power. And he kind of talks about that, saying that he can't really find anybody among the heroes to really spar with other than Silverfang. So, he's probably saying some truth to it, trying to say that he wants to get stronger, but at the same time, obviously he's kind of like lying, and maybe he just wanted to hang out with Silverfang as much as he says he doesn't want to. Garou then elaborates more, saying that at the time he got decked before he was really able to use the power, and that he in an instant forgot almost all of the secrets that he had learned after monstrifying. So it's basically just him confirming again that he is going to be significantly weaker than he was at the time that he was doing all of that crazy stuff in the manga. And interestingly enough, we finally get him kind of asking Silverfang, what happened to Tario, and he's saying, that child from the association, or that was there during the operation, and he says that, Tario's doing well, and we cut to Tario playing with some kids, and they're basically trying to pick who's going to be the monster, and like, I'm assuming a tag type of game, and, they're saying that, you're going to be the monster Tario, and Tario, of course, after being with Garou for so long, he's a-okay with being the monster, and we see them kind of beating him up because he's the monster. And Tario then fires back, saying that I'm Garou the man hero, and that no matter how much I get beat, I'm always going to get back up. So it's just really interesting seeing the impact that Garou had on Tario, where Tario before he meeting Garou, he probably would have just taken it and he would have been very sad, but now he kind of learned that as much as you can can get beat up, put down and all of that, it's okay to get back up and still fight. And it's very interesting just seeing that, you know, the big brother kind of relationship with Garou and Tario, and, you know, Garou seeing so much of himself in Tario. So I think Garou finds it important that he's able to kind of teach Tario to become different than he did, and we're gonna kind of see that a bit more. I'm assuming in the manga we're going to see him learn stuff from Silverfang, but then impart that knowledge onto Tario also, to kind of make sure that everybody is kind of a better person at the end of everything. Obviously though, the kids that he was playing with, they're not really having it, so they're just saying like, you know, what kind of backstory is that? That's really dumb, and, you know, just die basically. Like, you know, they're just saying let's keep beating you up. And we see that Waganma actually shows up, and they're actually friends with Tario, so they're actually very good friends now. And, you know, everybody's reacting saying that, isn't that the super rich guy? And Waganma saying like, yo, do you want to come over and come play games at my house? And, you know, Tario saying, oh, that's cool. So it's cool seeing that after the incident that they're actually good friends, since technically Waganma was trying to get rid of Tario in a couple different situations in that fight. Like, he was kind of just trying to use him as bait. So it's kind of cool seeing that, you know, maybe he's like kind of regretful of doing that to Tario, but he definitely was trying to get him taken out by some of the monsters in that situation. So I think it's kind of interesting that they're now best friends seemingly. The other kids being kids, and, you know, even though they literally just beat him up, they're starting to ask like, hey, can we come over with you guys to come play games? And Tario, of course, being very naive, is just saying, yeah, you know, let's all play together, but maybe this is a good thing and they're going to be able to kind of become on friendly terms now, instead of always, you know, being at each other's throats and, you know, messing with Tario. Maybe they're going to kind of finally respect him a little bit more. And we see that in the chapter, you know, they're just saying like, okay, yeah, you know, let's go play and stuff. And we see that the father of Waganma is kind of in the car saying that, you know, he's grown up so much. And of course Waganma's outside using a child emperor style backpack since he's filthy rich, so obviously he can afford stuff like that. But you know, he's just saying that, you know, I'm so glad that my son has really grown more. And we see a cool panel of Garou saying, you know, do your best, Tario, I'm going to do the same for myself. So it's just cool seeing that everybody's trying to further themselves and become better people than they were before. And it's really interesting always just seeing that relationship with Tario and Garou. We cut back to Garou and Bang, and Garou's basically saying, you know, is there a way that you can arrange some sort of fighting ring, some like contest where he can kind of go through a gauntlet of all the heroes that he fought pre-awakening, and he wants to do that to maybe try and gain back the fists or the fighting skills that he had learned through fighting all of these different exponentially harder people. And obviously Silverfang saying like, do you really think you can beat me already? And that his back has been feeling very, very good ever since Metal Knight actually gave him some maintenance. So I'm guessing Metal Knight did something to everybody, kind of made them a little bit better. And he's saying that, you know, you really can't beat me right now, come on. So this is the very interesting part of the chapter. We go to the Hero Association, and they're basically talking about Silverfang's successor, and they're saying that Silverfang is kind of going to be a guardian over Garou and gradually introduce him into the Hero Association, and that, you know, Silverfang's actually resigning, and there's going to be like a big hole that's going to have to be filled up, and they're really hoping that Garou is going to be able to kind of fill in that hole. But, you know, they're also remarking that, you know, it's going to be really hard going forward, but they're going to have to wait and see. And we see that they're talking about the fact that people aren't going to be happy that Garou, somebody that was able to just hunt heroes, is going to basically join the Hero Association. And this is actually, you know, spoiler warning, I'm going to be spoiling a little bit of the webcomic, but, you know, don't go forward, skip ahead maybe like 30 seconds. But this is actually very similar to what was going on in the webcomic, and this is kind of leading us into that, where a lot of people left and they became the Neo Heroes. So this is very interesting, and we actually get confirmation of this, that they're going to kind of be bolstering their forces and trying to become stronger, since a lot of people are going to be leaving and joining the Neo Heroes. And the chapter actually ends off with two panels, and it's Bang and Silverfang talking, and it's basically Silverfang asking, you know, like, you know, what type of person do you like, what type of girl do you like? And Garou just says that, you know, I like the Yellow Ranger from a Sentai thing that I watch. And they're basically just talking to each other, and we get some really cool father-son moments kind of with them, where they're just talking about, you know, dumb things, and they're just walking and enjoying each other's company. So I think that's just very cool, and it's always cool seeing them really hang out, and this is how it should have been, you know, with Garou not going down the path that he did. And I think it's just very cool seeing them, you know, just walk off talking to each other. And the chapter actually ends with Saitama and Genos, I'm assuming, playing in a beach, and they're just splish splashing, they're playing around, and we see that somebody or something is kind of either watching them or down in the dirt. I can't really tell from the paneling, but definitely something's there. And that's where the chapter actually ends off this week. And I just want to say this was a very interesting chapter, and I really did like it. You know, it perfectly wrapped up the fight with the heroes, and I think it's going to lead very well into the next arc of the series, and I'm all for it. I can't wait for all of that to happen. But definitely let me know what you guys thought of the chapter in the comments section. Also, like the video if you liked it, and subscribe, as it really does help me out, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys for sticking around and subscribing to the channel. I also want to say follow my socials, follow my TikTok, where I'm going to be posting a lot of shorter videos there and on YouTube, and also follow my Twitter. And I just want to thank everybody for watching again, and I'm out. Peace.